What's going on, guys? TKD123 back review, and as you can see me here, we are playing some COD Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Just got off of school, you know what I'm saying? Want to chill out, and I got inspired to make this video off of a friend of mine on YouTube. You know, he goes by the name of Omega Pro, and him and his friend, they do a show called Truth and Easy, right? And it's where they're just in the car chilling, talking about music, right? And obviously, you know, I don't really usually like to mix gaming videos and talking, but you know, I could have talked to the camera for this one, but I'm like, nah, let me just chill out, all right? Let me just lay back, play some COD 4 with you guys, and then let's talk More Life. Now, if you guys don't know about More Life, obviously, it is the next project by Drake. You know, if you guys know me in the channel, why is this AK like not doing any damage? But beside the point. Oh shit. Oh. Anyway, you know, if you guys know me in the channel, you guys know I'm big fans of Drake, obviously, and he is, you know, he announced this project back in I think November or October, with him dropping 4 songs, Fake Love, Sneakin', One and No Remix, and Two Birds One Stone. He dropped those 4 back in I think October, November, something like that. And he also announced the album, or the project really, More Life, right? And you know, he said, you know, this is not an album, this is not a mixtape, this is not an EP. He calls it a playlist, right? And he further explained why it's called playlist a few months after, you know, and the main reason why is because this is going to be very much a you know, project that has a lot of variety in it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to have a set, you know, theme to it. It's not going to have a set narrative, and there's going to be a bunch of people on this apparently, right? So that's why he's calling it more of a playlist as opposed to a project type of thing. Let's just mute this guy. Hold on, bro. Hold on. What am I doing? Oh my god, stop. Stop. Oh, there we go. Right, so that's why he's calling it a playlist, right? And so the first release date was December 3rd, right? Then they got pushed to early 2017. And then he said that it is going to be out before February 26th. You know, the next time he would be in Amsterdam. He said that on stage. The last night he was at Amsterdam for the first batch of shows, right? And then we get to, you know, today, right? And everyone's talking about March 4th, right? And that's based off of what he said during episode, I think, 39 of OVO Sound Radio, where he did that big interview with DJ Semtex and stuff like that, and he said that, you know, tune in to the next OVO Sound is going to be special, right? So everyone's assuming that because he said that it's special, that's when More Life is dropping, right? And now there is no 100% confirmed. There is no, you know, official date, you know, that explicitly lays out and says March 4th, right? But that's just what a lot of people are taking from that announcement at OVO Sound, right? You know, I'm not going to take that stance, right? I feel like it's a possibility, definitely a possibility, but I wouldn't say that's the exact, you know, ready to go date at all. I won't say that, but you know, that's what a lot of people are saying, and I want to give kind of my expectations, right? This is more of like a pre-review to More Life, right? Now, obviously, you guys know I'm gonna review More Life. I'm gonna listen to it a lot. I'm gonna review it, obviously, and I feel like he has a lot to prove in this one, right? And me and the guys at, you know, Easy and Truth, you know what I'm saying, Truth and Easy, Omega Pro, you know, they have similar, you know, to the exact same opinions with me, you know, revolving around this thing, right? And my thing is that, you know, they both said that, you know, he has a lot to prove, and I'll agree with that, right? And you know, I was on Omega's podcast, and you know, that was when I think I first officially made, you know, my stance on views, right after a few months. And that's something that I kind of want to do too, is like a follow-up review, kind of like my thoughts, you know, if this album, you know, stands the test of time, whatever. Like, you know, is it you know, a long-standing album, whatever. That's a big thing too, because, you know, a lot of times your opinion can be skewed. You know, hindsight's always 2020, right? But after, you know, a few months removed from views, right, that is really when I began to see its flaws, right? It was around like 3 months after the album dropped. That's when I truly saw its flaws, right? And just that its flaws are that, you know, as an album, there's just not a lot to enjoy on it, right? There's not a lot of like, everyone says the same, you know, 5-6 songs that everyone likes, right? It's One Dance, Hotline Bling, it's Feel No Ways, it's Hype, it's Controller. Like, it's the same batch of songs, but you know, it's fine to have that batch of songs. Like, it's cool. But when we're talking about a 20, when we're talking about a 20 track album, that's when things get a little dicey, right? Like, that Views is 20 tracks long, and to think that there are so many just songs that I forgot, songs that nobody talks about, nobody thinks about, like, that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? That says a lot about Views, and that's what you know, I kind of determined a few months after the album, was that, yeah, overall, like, I enjoyed it when it first came out. I enjoyed Views, right? You know, to this day, I enjoy Views to an extent, right? But when you compare it to the rest of Drake's discography, you can see that, you know, it's the lowest of the bunch, dude. It's the lowest of the bunch. And you know, that kills me to say that, because Views was supposed to be like, Views was a big deal. Views was a big deal for a long time. That was a very, very hyped. That album was so hyped, dude. Arguably one of the most hyped albums to date, low key. Like, everyone was talking about Views. Everyone was waiting for Views. Everyone wanted it. Everyone couldn't wait for it, man. Like, everyone was getting so hyped for Views, and he hyped it for the longest time. And then when it comes out, it's good. And then, you know, at least me, you know, my perspective, you know, I didn't see its flaws until, you know, after a few months removed, right? So that's why I feel that, you know, they said heavily that, you know, he has a lot to prove here. He has to prove himself. He needs to, you know, get back on, like, him. Like, he's saying, you know, that he's the GOAT. He's got to prove it this time, right? I definitely do feel that way. But they don't, you know, like Views, I think, worse than me, right? I feel like, you know, obviously I have a huge bias, right? A huge bias. But, you know, I've grown to, you know, see Views for what it is, right? See Views for what it is. And, you know, they, you know, not it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But, you know, they're way more aggressive and way more defined on their hate towards Views. I'm not really, because you know, there are tracks to like on Views, right? There are plenty of tracks to like on Views, and they acknowledge that too. But, you know, I feel what I want out of More Life, right? Like what do I personally want out of More Life, right? What I want is, I want the same thing that they said, and I want a sequel to If You're In This Is Too Late. I want bangers. I want savagery, right? And he has been, you know, teasing, you know, little videos on Twitter or Instagram, stuff like that, of him on tour on, you know, in Europe, and he has, you know, previewed some songs from More Life, and it's at least from what we've heard, it sounds like it's gonna be a banger album. That's just what it sounds like, right? We've gotten a few hints here and there, nothing too substantial, maybe like 30 seconds apiece, but so far from, you know, what we've heard, it's sounding good. It's sounding like it's, you know, gonna be If You're Reading This style. I'm hoping, right? I'm really hoping for that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and then, you know, if we also have that in mind, right? Like, we have that notion of, you know, we want, If You're Reading This, we want rap, right? But then if you listened to the entire OVO Sound Radio interview, right? If you listen to that, he publicly said that, you know, a lot of Views and a lot, you know, of songs like One Dance, you know, songs like Controller, those songs are the songs that were the most fun for him to make, that he, quote, feels happy making, you know what I'm saying? And he, you know, was talking about a conversation with him and his producer, and you know, he was saying that while Drake was rapping, his producer, like, cut, you know, just stopped the track and was like, hey, like, you sound aggressive, you know what I'm saying? Like, you sound angry, right? And you know, this, you know, and he attributes, you know, that type of, you know, reasoning for that was, you know, because of the whole Meek Mill thing and all that. But, you know, like, he kind of low-key basically said, like, you know, with him wanting to make music that makes him happy. Oh, look, this new gun. Ooh, this is the new XM LAR. Check it out. Looks like the ACR. But he, you know, has low-key publicly said that. I guess he really means that rap doesn't really make him happy in a way, right? Doesn't really make him happy. And you know, obviously, you know, there's something said where it's like, you know, you gotta give what the fans want, you gotta give what, you know, they deliver or whatever. But there's also a notion of, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's still his music, right? It's still his thing, right? And so we, you know, I wouldn't be too fond of subjecting myself to making something that that I didn't want to make personally. You know what I'm saying? So there's something to be said about that. There's some interesting conversation to be said too, where it's like, you know, what is next though? Like where do we go? You know what I'm saying? Like, if, I mean, what is Drake really gonna do at this point? If he really doesn't, you know, feel fond and feel happy about rapping, then, like, you know, and if he feels more, I guess, accustomed to being an R&B artist, being, you know, more of a pop artist. I like to skew R&B. I like to say R&B. I don't really like saying pop, but, you know, low-key pop artist, right? Like, is, you know what I'm saying? And he also even said in that same interview that, like, he acknowledges and recognizes that the core of his fan base like him for rapping. I like him for rapping, right? Like that I feel like a lot of people, you know, that you know, knew him back for So Far Gone, knew him from Thank Me Later. Like, you know, we, you know, got attached and got soaked into Drake off of his rapping ability. And, you know, here he is saying that, like, yeah, I acknowledge that, you know, it was something, you know, that was big, but I'm not happy with making rap music. That's what I'm afraid of here. You know what I'm saying, but what we've heard so far from More Life, it's sounding to be like a really dope banger album. I hope it is. I can't wait. And the leaked release date is gonna be March 4th. Who knows when it's gonna drop? But of course, expect a review on my channel. And thank you guys for joining me. If you guys liked, you know, the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and understand the ability comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, I got you.